Day 10. Night fell so fast it felt like someone dropped a black sheet over the sky. No sunset, just blackout. Heavy silence. The kind of silence that turns on invisible alarms under your skin. We slept little, or tried to. Every time a click echoed in the distance, even muffled by the walls of the building, my whole body snapped awake. Now, sound wasn't just threat, it was communication. Knowing that made everything worse.
She woke up before I did. Sitting on the cold floor, she held her husband's notebook like it might bite at any second. "Have you actually read all this?" she asked. "No," I said, "just skimmed it." "Then sit." "Why?" "Because there's stuff in here that changes everything." I sat beside her. She opened the notebook slowly, hands trembling. The first page carried a single sentence, written in big, pressed letters, like the paper itself had felt fear. Behavior is not random. Underneath, lines, arrows, street sketches, and then patterns. Sound patterns, path patterns, response patterns. My stomach turned just looking at it.
The notebook begins to speak. His handwriting changed as the pages went on. At first, neat, then shaky, by the end, almost unreadable. He was scared, she whispered, or in a hurry, both. On the next page, something that froze me. In 24H, they learn. In 48H, they replicate. In 72H, they test. Test? I asked. Yeah, she flipped through faster. Look at this. There was a table with notes about infected groups. Group A reacts to metallic sound. Group B follows adrenaline scent. Group C responds to simple click pattern. Group D imitates behavior of other groups. Next to it, circled hard, Group D equals danger, adaptation. He saw this before he died, she said quietly. He saw it and tried to warn us. Observation number 21. If someone tries to warn about the end of the world and no one listens, the end arrives twice. First for the one who warns, then for the one who ignores.
The loss zone. We turned the page. A huge map covered 2 sheets. Streets, alleys, buildings, all marked with symbols. Red circles marked specific points. These, she pointed, are where he saw repetitions. Repetitions? Infected, walking the same routes at the same times, like someone had taught them routine. The word got stuck in my throat. Routine. Infected? With routine? The map had arrows showing movement flows, curved lines, cold zones, hot zones, and in the center, written in dark ink, loss zone, do not enter. What is that? I asked. She drew a long breath. The last thing he tried to investigate. What doesn't come back? On the map, the loss zone was a block of 6 streets. All notes about that place were scratched over, like he had tried to write several times and given up. Only one readable line remained. They don't come back. Not humans, not infected. The cold in my chest turned to stone. He went there? I asked. He went to the edge. And he heard something. She turned the page. And this is what he wrote when he came back. One single line. The voice was not human. Nothing else. He didn't explain the sound, didn't describe it, didn't record it. He just wrote, not human. Is this the same place yesterday's clicks came from? I asked. Almost, she said. Echo 3's building was on the border. So?
That sound isn't just from trained infected. She closed her eyes. Something else is calling.
Double grave. We turned more pages. His handwriting got worse. Long strokes, endless arrows, attempts to draw something that didn't look like people or infected. And one sentence repeated 3 times. If you hear the double low, run. I searched the notebook for a definition, found scattered notes. Tech, thuck, thuck, throat sound, slow pattern, low, deep. She looked at me with real terror in her eyes. Yesterday, in the parking lot, she whispered. I nodded. We heard it. We ignored it. We survived by accident. Rule number 23. If something scares you before you see it, that something already knows where you are. The hidden routine. We went back to the earlier pages, trying to slip inside his head. He had precise logs. 3 infected repeated the same turn at the same time of day. 8 infected grouped with no human command. 1 infected stopped reacting to noise and reacted only to scent. 2 infected looked up at the same moment with no visible stimulus. Each mark, a point. Each point, part of a pattern he was trying to crack. On another page, further back, we found something heavier. They do not move alone. They move from stimuli. If stimuli are animals, if they are human, if they are something else was pressed so hard into the paper it almost ripped. He knew, she said. Knew what? That someone or something was driving patterns that weren't human and weren't dead. She swallowed, and he didn't have time to see the rest. After a long pause, she added, but we do. First trail. We left the building at first light, carrying the notebook like a compass. The first mark on the map led us to point D4, a narrow alley between tall buildings where he'd seen infected stop for no reason. The place was dark, foul, full of ripped garbage bags, but no infected. Why did they stop here? She asked. I crouched. On the ground, between trash and leaves, I found something small, a shard of hard plastic with bite marks. This, I said. What is it? An old trap. For rats? No, I shook my head. For people. There were 4 of them scattered through the alley. Her husband's note read, sound bait. They didn't calculate the scent. They tried to use sound to lure infected, I explained, but forgot that burned plastic smell draws them too. Who? The same ones from the lab. And the infected stopped? To try to figure out where the smell came from. Like dogs, she said. No. I stood. Dogs obey. I looked toward the back of the alley. They learn. Observation number 22. If you try to manipulate an animal that learns, it learns you too. Second trail, the Street of Eyes. The second mark on the map was an old street lined with small houses. Windows smashed. Red marks not by chance. When we got there, I understood. Several houses had doors open. Inside, silence. But on the outside walls, high up, were long, dirty smears at head height, like something had rubbed its face there over and over. This is, she started, marking. Territory? Recognition. We got closer to one of the marks. It was a mix of grime, dead skin, and some kind of dried fluid. This isn't human, she whispered. No. Not just animal either. No. I didn't say it out loud, but thought it. This is learned repetition. Her husband's note. They obey their own scent. Which meant they organize territory.
living territory, dead territory, clean territory, their territory. Third point, the house of two breaths. The last point of the day took us to a small house with a crooked gate. The smell there was different, fresher. She grabbed my hand. "Someone's alive in here." "Yeah," I said, "someone is." We slipped through the half-open door. Inside was calculated chaos. Stacks of cans, ropes, sheets nailed over windows, pools of hardened wax. In one corner, something that froze the air. 2 plates of recent food. One empty, the other half-eaten. "They were eating here yesterday," she said. 2 plates. 2 people. We reached the bedroom. The beds were turned over. Tracks on the floor, light dragging marks, like someone being pulled. Her husband's note for this place. "They breathe. They learn. They call." "It wasn't infected that took them," I murmured. "Then who?" "People." I paused. "The second group." Her face went pale. "They took them alive. To train sound. Like Echo 3? Like much more than that." Rule number 24. Never trust the silence that comes after 2 missing breaths. It always means someone took someone. The sound in the back of the house. While we searched, a door behind the kitchen shifted. She raised the gun. I stayed still, listening. A faint sound seeped from behind it. Not a click, not a whistle. Breathing, low, human. I opened the door. What we saw confirmed everything the notebook had been shouting. A man tied to a chair, gagged, eyes wide, body shaking. On the floor around him, bits of metal, cans, bones, small sound plates, like someone had been trying to teach something there. He tried to speak. She ripped the gag off. "They're coming back," he rasped. "You shouldn't be here." "Who?" I asked. "The ones who hear." "Infected?" "No." He swallowed hard. "The ones who command them." She knelt in front of him. "Why did they take you?" "Because his voice cracked. "I can make the sound." "What sound?" He shut his eyes, tears leaking out. "The click, the low one, the voice they follow." "They trained you?" Until my throat bled. Cold crawled up my spine. This wasn't using the dead. This was using the living. "Do you know who they are?" I asked. "They live in the zone your husband marked." He looked straight at her. "The loss zone." The color drained from her face. Why do they call it that?" He took a broken breath. "Because whoever goes in," he stared at the dark doorway, "doesn't come back with their own voice." Silence. Thick. Sharp. Choosing the next hell. We left him there for a moment, trying to drag air back into his lungs. She turned to me slowly. "The loss zone is the next step. I know. And nobody comes back. I know." She breathed deep. "But if we don't figure out what's there?" "We turn into prey from both sides," I finished. The day ended with the notebook open on the floor, one sentence underlined. The voice was not human. She touched the line with her fingertip. "I want to know what killed him." I closed the notebook. "And I want to know what's going to kill us if we don't find out." Observation number 23. Fear warns. Curiosity answers. But survival is the one that chooses which voice you follow. End of log, day 10.